Okay, so next, you need to live in LA like a local. You need to live in LA like a local when you move here. I think when people move here, they, like, immediately, I won't eat. I feel like people immediately jump into the most expensive shit you could do ever. And I do not understand that. Again, I correlate everything to trauma. Part of me feels like people move here and they do that because they're like, see, I'm here, like, I'm doing everything. I'm doing everything that you guys can't do. I'm going everywhere that you guys can't go. And I feel like operating LA with that psychology is so dangerous because then you're chronically chasing things for that reason. You know what I mean? Instead of, like, for us, I toured everywhere before we moved. Okay. We had so many visits. I honestly tried to film content of us going back and forth via Amtrak, plane, like, it was so much. It was a lot. So I actually didn't get content of that era because I feel like some stuff does need to be personal offline. And I knew that eventually I would talk about it like I'm doing now. So when I was touring, coming back and forth, I was flying. I would have to buy my flights a month in advance when they were $49. Or I was taking Amtrak. I was also flying without a real ID. Now I think it costs every time you don't have real ID. Like, it's a lot that's changing. I haven't flown since I moved here. Like, right after I moved, Trump changed everything in the airports. So, thank God. But anyways, I was looking at what specific communities we want to live in, what they had. And I think it's important when you're moving, if you're moving with kids, you need to look at rec centers, community centers, YMCAs, pretty much anything extracurricular. LA has such phenomenal programs. Texas hated kids. That's why I didn't like living in Texas. California, Sacramento, if you look it up, like the 2 school districts we had, they were stealing money from the kids. Downtown Sacramento is extremely racist. Like, it was so racist. There was like 2 black kids there. We knew that was another reason why we were okay with taking them out of school. People talked to us about that. Like, oh my God, you took them out of school? Yes, we did. We don't have emotional connections with school, especially public institutions that don't really care about our kids. We put our kids in their social and physical well-being first. These schools don't. So they're there for a check. And we understand that. I've worked for plenty of schools. That being said, when we came here, we wanted to make sure the community that we were in was both accepting and diverse. That's always been a big thing for us. I grew up in predominantly white areas. My children's father also grew up in private school at one of, like, the 2 private schools we had in Sacramento. So he said at Christian Brothers, his private school was built in the hood where we're from, and they don't got no black people there. He said in his graduating class, there's like 5 of them. So it's really big for us to make sure that we live in a community. And the community had to be a place where we were comfortable and our kids are comfortable. We love our community. So we are so glad that we prioritize that because that is what saves us today. That being said, we moved to a community where we can live like a local, meaning every night at 5:30, there's a taco guy, there's a Guatemalan family that makes food, there's crepes, there's fruit. Like, there's literally pupusas. I've never had those until I moved here. There's like 4 people that make them on my block. But we wanted to move someplace where I'm not going to go to Beverly Hills. A lot of my clients are in Beverly Hills and Brentwood. So my introduction to LA was already rich. I was doing the rich stuff in the hills from 2013 to 2022, 23. Like, no, I would say 2022. So from 2013 to 2022, I did the private parties, the rich, and I just never liked those areas, but they weren't designed for me to fucking like. So when I came to move here, I moved where the minorities are. And still, I go to school in Santa Monica, love it down, would have businesses there. But to live, I want to be where people are like me. So we moved to an area that is so community based. And I feel like, I said I was going to eat. Damn. And I feel like it's one of the best decisions that we made because the focus has now become enjoying these original experiences amongst my community, which by the way, we're not in a like predominantly black community. Our community is predominantly Hispanic. But they're amazing. It's a different type of Hispanic from Sacramento, that's for sure. But it's very inviting. So it makes learning about the culture, being around everyone, you're gonna learn about some culture in LA. You can either avoid it. Everyone here talks openly about how they feel about everything. So no one's ever shy about their political standing or how they feel about stuff out here. It's just there. So that is, I think it's only been 5 minutes. So let's see. The next video is gonna be a little longer. So this is gonna be a little short. But yeah, live in LA like your local. Live within or below your means. That was a big thing for me. I watched everybody that I knew, and if you like do your deep research, go on my Instagram, you'll see who the fuck I knew, which is a lot of fucking rich people. A lot of people I took pictures with that I was hanging out with out here, they don't even live here anymore. They do not live here anymore. They cannot afford to live here because the foundation, the basis of them living here was either using their bodies, which if the plan was to get a man, you're doomed. And I always say that. Like, I had a hater of a mom, but she always would say things like, yeah, you're pretty, but like, you need to be smart, you need to be. And I see how many girls I was around that like just being pretty was enough. In LA, it's not enough. I had a friend that was on a TV show, got kicked off the TV show. The people on the TV show was like, we'll find someone that looks just like you. Like, we'll replace you. We'll find someone that looks just like you. And they did. Found someone that looked just like her. LA's like that. You are not the only pretty person here. You're actually not the only rich person here. LA has some of the wealthiest. So when you come here with your little money spreads and stuff, yeah, no. You are frequenting around some of the wealthiest people, not in California, in the world. So I think it's very important when you move to LA to understand that you'll never be the richest person here. You will not. Anybody that you think you're getting, it's not enough because there's someone richer. So don't move here off of the basis of money. Someone always knows someone. I just named like 50 people that I know. I'm always one person away. Like, I know people myself. So don't be shocked and surprised when someone's like, hey, I know so-and-so. Do you know how many people I've met that's like, hey, I know so-and-so? And then them knowing the so-and-so is like, literally, I just asked her for a picture when I saw her in the coffee shop. LA's like that because everything's about perception here. So everyone knows everybody. They know them a lot deeper than, I don't name drop. You really don't know who I know because that's how I like to keep it. Unless I have to tell like stories like this to explain something. But other than that, it's not like a badge of honor for me to know people. It's a badge of fucking honor for me to have accolades, to get my degree, to set my kids up for success. It's not a badge of honor to know anyone. It does nothing for me or my net worth. So I think it's really important to know in LA, live within your means. Know that you're broke because there's always someone richer. But the beautiful thing is at any day and time with work, that could change. At any day and time, you could be less broke. You could meet the right person. Be ready with a pitch. Anytime. I moved here and said I wanted to rest for a year. I wanted to just pick up a little part-time job, go to school, enjoy my life. That did not end up happening. I had a conversation with somebody and they own like 4 different businesses and asked me to help strategize stuff for each one. So LA is just like, if you work, the people with the money will find you because people with money like to delegate tasks. So as long as you have skills, you will be fine. Live within your means so that you can enjoy LA. Live below your means so that you can really enjoy it. So a big thing for me was I was not exceeding $2,300 rent. My rent is $2,175. It's cheaper for my 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom here in LA than it was in Sacramento now. It's a mind fuck. Give me a second, I need to eat. Okay, live like a local. I feel like some people move here with the mindset of like, oh, I'm going to be like for me, I can use myself. I said I was gonna move here to be a content creator, but I didn't say I was gonna move here to be a content creator. I knew that content was going to be a part of what my journey would be while here. And I knew that there were things that I can do to hype my content because I'm here. I think a lot of people do these the opposite way where if I move here, my content will take off, which it does with strategy. So I think when moving here, it's just wise to know down to the T what you want to do with everything. So I tell people this all the time. I'm transferring to USC. Mind you, I have had a horrible college experience. My GPA has been shit, okay? But I have worked to get it up for the past like 2 years, so now it's not shit. But I tell myself for years that I was going to USC. So I'm going to USC. Now that I'm here, it's just me getting closer to getting to USC. You get what I mean? I had this plan years ago. I think before you move here, you need to know what you want to do. Even if it's something like the part-time job I wanted. I wanted a part-time job at a Hello Kitty place. LA has a lot of places with Hello Kitty. So I felt like, okay, well, I want this to be my part-time job. I want to go to school here. I want to live here. You have to see all that. I want to get a car this year. This is the car that I want. For me, if I were to get a car soon, it would be electric. So because there's so much traffic, it would have to be a Tesla. So everybody has a Tesla. Or it had to be like a beach car because we spend a lot of time at the beach. So I feel like these are all things that people do not think about. They simply look for cheap rent and then move on. Speaking of cheap rent, if you are single moving here, I have told the youth where I live, I've tried to help youth move here. I give up. They can all fail if they want because I have literally tried to hold people's hand and teach them how to strategize their life. People do what they want to do. They live in the trauma that they want to live in. Excuse me. That being said, if you are single with no kids and you want to move to LA, enroll your ass in school so you can pay $500-$600 for a student living space. If I had no kids and I was still strategizing, that would be the first thing that I did. I don't think people look into resources enough because they lack discipline. So for me, I told myself I'm not dropping out of school again. But I can take 6 hour or 6 units, 7 units, whatever, so that I can balance, because if you want success, your life really isn't balanced, but I can balance it as best as I can. I mean, I get to my degree as quick, but I'm already in LA, which is like knocking off a goal off my list. So there's really no rush to get my degree because I'm already here. It would be different if I was trying to get a degree to come here. I'm already here. So, and that has been a big dream of mine. Getting to LA was a dream of mine. When I was 17, being made fun of because I was sleeping on people's couches, which everyone that was making fun of me is failing in life. So it's a joyous place to be. But when I was 17, I was telling myself, I'm going to move to LA. But I also wasn't going to move to LA to pimp myself out. I know plenty of people that moved here to pimp, and congrats to them. I don't think that's a fulfilling life for someone like me. So I ain't gonna do it. That's just what it is. And I feel like you do deal with that too. If you want to live an honest life here, be very strategic about who you choose to have in your circles. Some people take offense to that. Some people truly take offense to you wanting to do things the right way. And bitch, that's okay. Like, it's okay. You can pay me to go against my morals and standards because I live here. You can live an honest life in LA just fine. You do not have to be ripping and running and famous and fucking and sucking and ducking. That's how you end up in drama. You see all the girls, all the influencer girlies are always in drama because they all do the same thing with the same people in the same circles, the same blah, blah, blah. You are more than that. So when you move to LA, understand why you're here. Know what your dream is. Your dream could very well be to move here just to get a Disney. I had a friend that moved here just so that she could be closer to Disney. And that fulfilled her. That is okay. Like, literally, that's okay. So I feel like knowing why you want to be here is very, very important. Living like a local when you first get here is very important. Know your communities. People always, so this is our way. This is, okay, so you should be moving someplace that you like to be. Like, yes, my school is an hour away from where I live. I go twice a week. You get what I mean? It's like 5 of the days of the week where I'm on my neck of the woods. So it's just like, know where you are so you're not commuting all over the fucking sun to do basic shit. I don't have to commute shit nowhere. I live I live walking distance from everything that's an immediate need. And that was very intentional. I'm not traveling anywhere. I don't need a car because I was very intentional about where I chose to live in the community I chose to live in. One day I was walking home. We're regulars at the taco spot. I had $2.50. The tacos are $2.50. I had $2.50 a game in taco because I eat it so often. So little things like that is why it's important to know what community you're in Or like I shop for all my produce, meat if I'm feeling like brushing up on my Spanish, supplies. It's like 3 stores that I shop at. If I need dishes, it's a thrift store. It's this mom. She always has her 2 kids in there, and I think it's like their grandma. They might live there, they might not. I have no idea. I don't really care, but it's like a thrift store of random shit. I be getting my shit. Plates. She's the one that gave me my plates, my cups. Like, yeah, I feel like moving to LA with no ego, it does you a great service. Everyone I know that moved to LA with an ego don't live here anymore. Knocked up. Knocked up. Don't live here or dead. So I don't play around when it comes to how to move here, why you move here. You have to know the who, what, when, where, why. Who are you moving for? Are you moving for yourself? Are you moving what are you moving for? Are you moving for school? Are you moving for work? Who, what, when is it ideal that you would move here? Are you trying to move this year? Is it something you're trying to do next year? Is it something that is there a timeline? Who, when, where do you want to live? You should be asking yourself these questions about everything in life, but where do you want to live? Who, what, when, where, and why? Why do you want to be here? So when me and my partner talked about our why, we are very honest. So I'm very honest. We're very honest. I'm very honest and he be agreeing, but I wanted to retire here. So I think that far ahead where I'm like, if I had to choose where I died, where I raised my kids, where they started the foundation of their lives, Sacramento was not on the top of the list at all. Not even close. But LA is. I could see myself, if I was middle class for the rest of my life, I'll be okay living in LA and visiting the beach 3 times a week. You know what I mean? Not saying that's going to be the case with me, but I do feel like those are the scenarios that you need to think about before moving here. Is this a place that you plan to be? Some people are like, I just go with the wind, and I don't do that. I don't do that. It's a waste of money. It's a waste of money. I know where I'm going to have like 3 of my properties. I don't even have the means to get them. I want to die with 3 properties. Mine and my 2 kids that I will be giving them. So like those are things that you have to think about before moving here. Because me living below my means allows me to save for the first property that I want. I want a house here. I'm like between 3 and 5 years here. People move to LA and they're just like, man, I just want to party. I'm moving here for fucking property, for land. So I'm going to get a house and I'm going to start saving for that because then I'll have equity and everything in that and could use it for something else. So I'm moving because, like I mentioned before, it's one of the most expensive places. Like the richest people ever are here. Ding, ding, ding. And if I want to grow my 10 businesses, I should probably be going to the business school of USC. I should probably be in the wealthiest place in the world, if that is what I'm looking to do. So I'm just doing that. You got to strategize when you move to LA. Otherwise, you get caught up in what you see online. And 9 times out of 10, these places that you see online, they don't be that good. They don't be that good. Best stuff I have is the hole in the wall that's dirty. And I wouldn't say dirty, just like lived in. But like, yeah. So that's video number 2. I'm going to probably make video number 3. I don't know if I'm going to make that now or later. So I'm going to edit these 2 videos and then I'll see you guys soon. We'll chat soon. See you soon.